Welcome back to part 2 of this edition of Daily Dose of Game with your boy, Unclebigdee. So in part 1, I was just giving you a brief synopsis and rundown of how you should be open to think and to think outside the box, be able to look outside of yourself and this world and the creatures and how they are made and created in 360 degrees back and forth, to be able to master that, to master it or to get higher, you have to be aware of it first. And so I just gave you awareness that it even exists and what's going on, for you to look on top of that, and then you try to work within that on a higher level, you know what I mean, for yourself, however you're going to do that. The first thing is to be able to be open, have open ears and to listen, and to want to soak up this game and knowledge. Alright, so with saying that, in part 2, right now we're going to speak on some bigger things that you'll have to have some type of open ears and understanding, and to be able to comprehend and understand some of these things that I'm about to speak on, for you to really soak it in. Because it's not just about listening and hearing, it's about really grasping and understanding when somebody's talking to you. Not letting it go through one ear and out the other, because it doesn't subscribe to what you already want to hear, so you you letting it hear, but it's just, you're not really soaking it in. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the childish thoughts, the childish way, okay? But most people, like you said, they're going to judge up front if they even want to hear it. But then again, when it comes to real knowledge or some real stuff, most of the time people are going to block it out up front because they don't want to hear no real knowledge. If it ain't have nothing to do with Miley Cyrus at the MTV Awards, or if it doesn't have anything to do with Jay-Z and Beyonce, or some old weird, some submental bullshit on TV, then they're not open to hear it. That's on you. Alright? What I'm going to speak about when we talking about is some real knowledge. Okay. I was doing the knowledge on this CERN thing. Okay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with CERN. If you go Google it, CERN, it's a particle collider that they have built underground in Switzerland. Okay, I'm gonna explain that to you what it is. I'm gonna explain all that to you what it is. And this goes back to this ancient knowledge. It's the same knowledge that's been going on. It's been carved in stone for thousands and thousands of years. It's just only very few people is on the knowledge, and mostly everybody else is just on the planet is just human animals. This is just a human farm on this planet. These colonizations is just grazing humans and farm animals. And you really don't have no intellect or know what's really going on. Have no clue. So I'm here to explain some of these things to you. Now this world, this earth plane, okay, when you go studying and digging in occult, OCCULT knowledge, occult just means hidden. Okay, it's not the average person knows, because their mind doesn't take them there to go find out. They have no interest in it. When you go digging in this knowledge, you're going, a lot of times, a lot of symbols and sigils you'll see is a pentagram, which is a 5-pointed star. The pentagram represents, when you see the pentagram, that represents this planet Earth. So-called, it's called Earth in English language, but it represents this place that we're at. I don't even believe, you don't even know if it's a planet, or the model of how these scientists, or how they try to give you, oh, it's a round planet that evolves around the sun, this, that, and the other. The heliocentric model of this planet, or geocentric, however you want to look at it, or if it's a flat Earth, hollow Earth, is it round? Where they don't know where we at. Okay. They don't even know where we at. When you think, if you believe that NASA has flown to the moon, then, you know, you need to really listen to these videos, because, like I said, I've been studying and digging and doing this knowledge, and they've never been to outer space. They've never been to the moon. The only thing that's been up there is machines. Ain't no astronauts ever been out of space from here. He's not NASA, whatever you want to call them. That's all studio, filmed in the studio. All right, the space station, all that shit is fake. The niggas, all that shit is green screen studio shit. All right. The planet. Just say the motto of the flat Earth motto. Okay. You know, when you're looking at this existence and this three-dimensional virtual reality world that we live in, that's being computed as you move along, first I want to go back to what I said in part one, is that, like I said, everything's only exists if something is thinking about it. If you go, just like when they say in that quantum physics thing, they tell you that things only exist or will appear if someone's paying attention to it. That's the same thing. For example, that's how this mind is 360 degrees. That's how this thing works. That's why the number 1, 2, and 3 are so prominent in everything, because that was one is the one, and then another one, and then it interface with each other to create a new spark, a new idea, which became 3. Okay, and then that's what that I is. That's why, you know, ABC, you know, the television or CBS has that I, or you'll see the I all over the place in symbolism. You'll see the numbers 1, 2, and 3, which makes 6. You know what I mean? We'll get back into that, all that stuff later, but things only exist if you think about them. So, for example, you exist because something is thinking about you, and that thought resonating in the universe at certain frequencies. Everybody's minds and brains, through their DNA and all, and their bodies is on different frequency. Okay, and your thoughts, the brain is on, all the brains are on different frequencies. You know what I mean? And these two different frequencies collide and create a new one. That's what the male and female thing is about. The female's the negative and the male's the positive, that goes inserts. And then he releases his self, part of his body, and with the feminine, the woman's body, and then they create a spark, and you create a new one. The idea of you being born or becoming in existence is because when your father, the male, had sex with the female, she was thinking while he was having sex with her, man, I might get pregnant. Because everybody knows when you have sex, there's a possibility you might, you know, that's how babies are born. So she's thinking in the back of her mind, I might get pregnant because I'm having sex with this guy. And then in his mind, he's thinking, man, I might get this girl pregnant. Okay? Now, they both thought that, and they came to a conclusion and agreed together that in the mind, on the frequency, that they might have a baby, or they want to, or if they want to have a baby. If she's ready, she wants to get pregnant. She's hoping to get pregnant. He wants to get her pregnant. Or even if she's saying, I might get pregnant, even though I don't want to get pregnant for whatever reason, I might because I'm having sex with this guy, and he might be like, I'm gonna pull out. I ain't trying to get her pregnant. Stuff like, and they still end up having she still ended up getting pregnant because they both still agreed and thought about a baby together. Now what happens is that manifests into reality. A couple of months later, she finds out she's pregnant, and then the child comes out. Now, when she, or even if she has an abortion, however it happens, she got pregnant. Or whatever happens with the baby, who knows? Okay, but when he got her pregnant, she tells him she's pregnant. He goes and tells his friend, his mom, his father, his cousins, his brother, oh, this girl says she's pregnant by me. So it's in their mind now. The same thing with the female. She goes and tells whoever she tells, it's in their mind too. So this child is really existing through all these people's minds now. And throughout your life, that's how you exist, because your cousins remember you, they thinking about you, or just whoever knows you, you're on their mind and you resonate. Now that's why this science that I'm speaking to you right now, it might be confusing to you. You might be like, what the hell is he talking about? This is like really, real prominent in this creation and what's going on. This is like the real thing. It sounds funny, it sounds like some fictional fake stuff, but it's actual reality. Okay? For you people that love the movie The Secret, or the law of attraction type thing, all these things, it's all correlating with the same type of thing. This quantum physics thing, whatever you want to call it, it all has to do with minds thinking and manifesting things in the reality, from chaos to organize, from something to become organized something, because it's a point. Minds thinking to a point, they come together on a point and it becomes something. Okay? That's how all this stuff is made. So back to what I was saying is that this CERN thing, okay, is a computer that's smashing particles at millions of miles an hour. They trying to find the God particle, or whatever. They're just trying to find whatever they can. So what they do is they break down different substances that was found on this planet, and making different compounds, and they smashing them to try to get a certain, recreate a certain boom, a spark, that big bang, whatever spark to create this particular world. Because there's a lot of worlds out there. Now, the thing is, what I'm about to say in this video, nobody will believe me. Most people are just so stuck in their own mind in ways they don't care. They think I'm crazy. They ain't gonna listen to what I gotta say. But in all the studies, and all the highest scholars, the highest thing, I'm talking about, this is the real shit. It's just, the truth is stranger than fiction. But if you go look, that CERN, they trying to create a black hole, and whatever they trying to create up in that thing, they trying to open portals. They're called stargates. Okay? How did they do it? What is CERN? Okay? It's crazy, man. I don't even know if I even want to say it, man, but we'll get back into it later. Because I don't think y'all ready for this. Like I said, I'm spilling my knowledge out, and a lot of people are just not ready, or they're not going to appreciate it. If I do say it, they're not going to respect it or appreciate it. Only thing they're going to do is down talk me and talk shit. So I don't even know if I'll decide in a little while if I even want to tell you what it is, because this is a real key on this world and where you really at in this world and what's going on. So for you to understand, if I am going to say it, there's still some prerequisites of some things that I need to explain to you. Again, we're going to go back to saying that this world is all energy to compute this virtual reality world. What's energy? Two different things sparking, colliding with each other. A negative, like on a battery, a negative and a positive create that spark. That spark is called a vertex point. Or when a negative meets a positive, or masculine and feminine meet. That's why half of your, one side of your brain is supposed to be masculine, the other one's supposed to be feminine. The left brain, the right cerebral. You know what I mean? A proton and an electron. All these things create a full action-reaction circles, two opposites. The two pillars. Like you look in the occult pictures, you're going to see the two pillars. Then you're going to see, you're supposed to be in the middle. Two pillars are two opposites. One's a positive, one's a negative. Same thing with the Star of David thing. The upside down triangle is a negative, and then the triangle that on the other side is a positive. In the middle, if you do the Y in the middle of the hexagon, it creates a three-dimensional cube. Okay, which is supposed to be a sun. That's the sun up in there. Everything is created from two opposites. All right. How do you conduct energy? The bodies are just machines. Okay, when you eat food, the different things you eat, they all combust in your stomach. Okay, in your intestines, you got the negative and the positive, the protons, the electrons, and the neutrons. The protons and electrons in the foods, in the cells, the things that you eat. While they're going to your stomach, they're mixing down, the hydrochloric acid is breaking it down, and then they start mixing, and creating that piece of doo-doo up in you. That's how your body gets energy, right? Is how, because of by you eating. Okay, it's the protons and the electrons combusting, creating energy. Okay, they sparking, creating that energy up, and then your body knows how to pull that energy. Supposedly, in that piece of shit, that piece of feces up in your stomach that combined created is compacted energy. By the time it reaches down to your sacrum, which is the bottom part of your lower intestines, where your tailbone meets, that energy spark supposedly goes up your spine, coils up your spine from the right and the left side of your body, and going back and forth, and it's like a Tesla coil, and it just amplifies the energy, and it keeps your brain and your body energized, your brain lit, and your body energized for you to function. That's why to function, you gotta eat. All right. Now, what happened is, now given that, we all know that the energy is through the food, is feces. All right. Now, what happened is, it's gonna sound foul. This is gonna sound real wild, but I found out and figured out is through all the ancient carvings on the walls and symbolisms even today, that, you know, I don't even know if I want to say it, but all this whole world supposedly, from the symbols that I've seen, was created. The sector of the universe that we're in this existence, this earth, and this world, all is created on a piece of feces. Somebody done had sex inside of an anal, in the butt, and release his seed, his sperm, in the booty on a piece of doo-doo. That piece of doo-doo is energy, and and his seed went on there and created all these sparks and created this world. I'm just saying, that's just the premise that I've came with through all my ancient knowledge. And even today, when you see the symbolism, and that spark, that feces, is just energy, and that spark you create, and that the DNA and the sperm. Remember, the sperm holds like a lot of information. You know what I mean? That sperm holds like 350 gigabytes of information. You know what I mean? And just a little bit of sperm. So it's just a lot of so this is a replication, and that feces is the energy that's able to power up the information. You know what I mean? When it computes on there to create this world. That's what the microcosm is about. You know what I mean? We're microscopic. We're a replication of a world somewhere else, but from the God seed inside the woman. All right. The reason I used to think it was the vagina. Like when I was doing my studies, I used to think everything had to do with we're inside of the woman's waters, in the vagina, and that's what the universe. Now I done figured out that it's the anal. All right, and you'll see the symbolism everywhere of an anal. All right, you'll see it right here on this T. The lifting T. See that right there? That's an anal. All the symbols you'll see everywhere in this creation, on this earth, all looks like a booty hole. And I'll explain it to you, man. I didn't want to believe it at first, but reality is, the truth is stranger than fiction. You can't think of it like, ugh, it's science, it's what it is. It's energy. We're in a virtual reality computed world. You know what I mean? And we just happen to be powered by in somebody's belly. That's why they say we're in the belly of the beast and all that other stuff. You done heard all these sayings, same shit, different day. Just all these things you hear in this scene, you know, all leads back to the same thing. All right. Now, we're going to take it to, back to CERN. The CERN thing, the collider, the Hadron Collider, whatever you want to call it, all goes back to, if you go look at, okay, first I want to say that the Hadron Collider, you might not believe me, you're going to start laughing, but it's a reenactment. They trying to reenact of when they was created, when this earth was created, or this planet, or wherever we at was created with that collider. And that collider is just trying to replicate anal, the penis going in the anal and shooting out his nut into the shit. Because remember, sperm comes out at more than 35 miles per hour when it ejaculates. And sperm carries 350 gigabytes of information, okay, which is this whole world. As far as like the template, all right, and when the feces is everything that person ate, wherever they was at, whatever elements and different things that they ate, is all in that feces. In this world, the things that are here in the soil, the dirt, the rocks, all these things are the same elements that was in that person ate. But you wonder why, well, how come rocks are, how come you can microscope into everything? Because everything is computed in 369. It's an upside down triangle. If you go look at the Mandelbrot set, okay, you'll start to understand some of how the fractals are computed. But then the Mandelbrot is still going to explain to you about the anal, the sun. All this is in the anal. Everything is going to show you that. Now, the CERN thing, you're going to see the same picture that how the CERN looks. Go look at the Temple of Dendera in Egypt. Google that. Temple of Dendera Zodiac. And it's the same. It's the same thing. The way it looks. Then Google the Mayan shit that's carved in stone in some of these scripts. And you're going to see the CERN thing there too. Just like that Mayan calendar thing. All those things are just computers. Alright, it's just computers and Stargates supposedly. And just new worlds that spark through that anal sex. Through that burst of energy. You need energy to make computers work, to power the computer. So everything is powered. This whole world, this whole life, this whole universe, all this shit is powered, being powered by something. You know what I mean? And it's small. The smaller, you can power something smaller with a big energy, a bigger energy. So that piece of doo-doo is powering this whole microscopic world. We're in a piece of shit. But that's why everything here goes down too. Everybody keeps going down, computing downward, inward, to try to get up, above and beyond. Alright? We're all micro processors, processing and computing for something bigger, because we're all on the same, all these minds and bacterias and computers here are all on the same frequency as a bigger system. You know what I mean? So we're just computing everything for something bigger. And that's how your body works, and how we're even animated the way we are, because we got smaller things in our world that's computing us. You know what I mean? It gets deep. It might get confusing at first. You might get confused, but over time you'll get it. Different, like I said, if you go do the knowledge, alright, and all the mythology, all the religions, and why these people have a problem, they hate black people and all these things, because it is said that we carry the original DNA of the cosmic man, and we have the melanin and all this other, and the other things, and copper molecules and serotonin and arginine and all these other things, these